What's up, guys? Sorry I've not done a video at all this week. It's just been a wild week. I just really didn't have an opportunity this week to do a video. And I wanted to do this yesterday, but Halloween was just crazy. I admit I got pretty fucked up. I was just too tired. And then I had to work early this morning. So I didn't want to go without doing it. I know it's the day after, but fuck it. Today, I am going to be doing my Halloween Ends rewrite. And for me, this is the biggest one. This was one that y'all know how I feel about that movie. I'm not gonna go too into it, like how I feel about the movie. Halloween Ends was a fucking piece of shit that made Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 actually look good. To add this random character, barely have Michael in the film, all this setup for 2 films, and you just go nowhere with it. Yeah, no. What this one is gonna be is the same night, because I could tell COVID or some during this bullshit lockdown, they were like, we're going to change the movie because this was not their original plan. I don't believe it. David Gordon Green can cap and say that this was the original plan, but I don't fucking believe him. No fucking way. Especially because this film had a delay, because if you remember, Halloween Ends was supposed to come out. Originally, Halloween Kills was supposed to come out 2020, and then Ends was going to be 2021. But because of the lockdown, and I guess they were worried that they didn't think it was going to make any money. If you remember, a bunch of movies were pushing back. So a lot of movies that were supposed to come out like 2021 were pushed to like 2022. And that's what happened. So unfortunately, yeah, and that's what makes me think they changed it. So what my version's going to be is it picks up the same night, the night of the attack. Jamie doesn't die. It's a big chase. She does get injured, though. She does take a severe injury to where there is a little bit of the film where Allison kind of has to take the lead. But, and what my plan with this one mainly was, it wasn't going to be a kill fest like Kills was. There's going to be a lot of kills in the film, but what I mean is it's not going to be the intention. Like, this one is going to be a bit more almost from the survivor's perspective, where in the way I was going for in my version of Halloween Kills, Michael Myers, it was almost from his perspective, and he has a quote unquote win, right? But Allison manages to escape, and they go to Hawkins, who ends up helping him, and, go to Hawkins' house where they hide out for the night. And that's kind of where the film takes up. They find out about the death of Tommy Doyle. And if you remember the nurse from Halloween H2O / the original, she does come back in Kills. I wanted to bring her back in this one because I felt like it made more sense for her to come back in the last one, to have that tie-in from, Loomis and all that. So I do bring her back in this one, and she does play a bit more of a role. She does get killed, obviously. I mean, it's not, it's, and like I said, because the movie, especially the second one, was kind of breakneck speed. They haven't really had a chance to honor Laurie. So I kind of wanted to save it for this movie, because I felt like I wanted to do it in the last one, but it wouldn't have made sense because the last one is this. They're all the same night. So the second one, I kind of wanted it be like breakneck, kind of like how the couple of pauses, a lot of pauses I have for that film, and one of them was that I liked that it was breakneck speed. Things were going kind of quick. So they didn't have a moment to really honor Laurie. And I figured it made more sense to save it for the last film than do it in the middle of the second one, while they're being chased. So I felt like you have that moment now. Jamie has her little moment and obviously kind of forgives her because, Laurie had to go away for a couple years, obviously, if you remember the history of Halloween 4. Because for me, this continuity is Halloween 1, 2, and 4, and then obviously these films. Because to me, I've always felt like Jamie Lloyd got the shit end of the stick. I like Halloween 6. Y'all know that. I've said it before. But I I don't really love that they did the way. I think Jamie. I'm okay with Jamie dying. I just felt like it was a little, and the fact that it wasn't Danielle Harris, so it was. And I know she was brought back for the Rob Zombie movies, but for her to finally, in my mind, I wanted her to get closure with this character, and that was the idea, and also tie these timelines together. Just because also, I felt like Halloween 4 gets unjustly bashed. I think it's a good film. Yeah, the mask isn't great. And I know some people don't like the whole brother angle, but I'm sorry. I love Halloween 4. I rewatched it last night. Halloween 4 is, to me, probably the second best film. Because y'all know, to me, Halloween 1 and 2 are just one film to me. So Halloween 4 is like the second best. I think it's in the upper tier of the franchise for me. Oh, and I brought Lindsay back, who in this timeline, she was married to Tommy. I just didn't mention it, but yeah, she was married to Tommy. I mean, it makes sense, right? They knew each other since kids. And I felt like I wanted to bring a couple of people back from the previous films tied to 4. I was thinking about bringing Elise Neal, who played um I can't think of her name right now, but she was Jamie's stepsister in the film. I wanted to bring her back, but I felt like she didn't fit, especially with what I was going for, so I decided not to. And I didn't want to go too member berry, right? You know, you want to still have a story. And the idea is Michael is kind of getting them. And I do have Corey in this one, but Corey is literally just Allison's boyfriend who they've been dating since the beginning. And that's how you do it. Because I don't inherently have a problem with that actor. I just didn't like what they did with him. He didn't need to be the main focus of the film, especially in the last one, this film you were building up. You know, and this one is going to be the final face-off between Myers and the pretty much remaining Strodes. And that's kind of what I'm going for. But I don't make it so blatant. You know, Michael has to get through some people, and there's going to be some emotional deaths. Like, Hawkins is going to have, like, an emotional death. He's going to, like, die kind of trying to save Jamie and all that. You know, and there's going to be some near deaths. There's going to be a couple moments where Jamie or even Allison. Like, I want this last one to be that last one. If we're going to call it Halloween Ends, I want this to be that. You don't, like, call it that and then just half-ass it, you know? There's going to be a scene we go back to the Myers house, because to me, that's where it all started. Ideally, to me, that is where you end it. Because to me, like, the Myers house is where, like, really where everything all started, you know? That night in 1963. There's even going to be a scene where I'm not necessarily going to do a flashback, but it'll be a little flashback, I guess, where we do see that night. And obviously, it's going to be like a different actor. Hawkins wanting to get redemption for basically letting Michael escape, you know? Or, you know, escape in what happened, because he was one of the first few people to stop him. And this is obviously the bridge into Halloween 2. And he didn't think of it, anything of it. And then when he realized who it was, you know, that's always haunted him. And that's what I was kind of going for, you know? And, you know, Nurse Marion, if you remember her, like I mentioned, she was in Kills, but she just gets killed. I didn't want to do like something because I thought her death, granted, was brutal. Thought it was kind of stupid. This is for Dr. Loomis, and then the guns out. Like, come on, man. Like, you didn't need to have her go out like that. I would have just had her like same kind of deal, sacrifice death. But obviously, we get to the big fight, and this is where the entire Jamie finally kills him. You know. Or in my mind, they both die together. I've always, granted, in a version I did this with obviously Jake with Laurie Strode, but in my mind I think this fits just the same. You know, she kills Myers for her mom, but Myers also gets her in the end, so they kind of die together. You know, there's a burial, and obviously granted, I'm going to be real with you. I do a little fake out because now, but granted, this is not going to be in this timeline. My mind is that the fake out is he's alive, but he's going for new targets, essentially. It's kind of my mind. This is if they ever wanted to branch out and did their own Halloween with new victims and all that. But like, yeah, ceremoniously they both die together. I think I did that with Laurie in one of my original rewrites because I've always felt like that's what should have happened. I've always felt like the way they did it was stupid, just dumping him in a fucking meat grinder. Like, are you serious? like, I didn't want Michael to die like a bitch. And Allison, lives her life, honoring her mother and grandmother. She's basically the last remaining Strode. And yeah, and then that's where, like I said, at the end, Michael, you just see his hand come out of the grave, basically, or not a grave, but they bury him somewhere, and his hand comes out the ground. And my idea was, like I said, it's not for him to go after Allison. It's for him to basically now kind of just move on. Because in his mind, now that he killed Jamie, yes, there's technically still a last remaining Strode. But in his mind now, it's like, you know what? I killed my two main victims, Jamie and Laurie and Jamie. So now I can kind of just move on. And maybe next year I'll pitch that fucking movie. It won't be a rewrite, but it will be a pitch where it'll be like a Halloween movie continuing where I go with this, because that's the idea. I think now Michael going after New Blood is where you should go. If you're gonna have Michael come back, that's where it kind of needs to go at this point. You know what? I think that'd be interesting. Halloween with Michael Myers going after new victims. That'd be interesting, because now it'd just be from his perspective, and depending on it, you could build some new characters who could take on the franchise. We'll see. But anyways, guys, I get ready to call it here. I'm thinking this weekend I'm gonna watch this movie called The Possessed. And I'm either gonna watch it tomorrow or I'm gonna watch it Sunday. If I do it Sunday, I'll do that review Sunday, and then Saturday I know I'm gonna be watching Crown Jewel. But depending on, I'll see if I can find like a screenwrite article just so I can at least do a couple videos. I know I haven't done videos basically all fucking week this week, but yeah. But I wanted to get this one out. I didn't want to keep this one waiting. So that's my Halloween David Gordon Green rewrite, trilogy rewrite. Because to be honest with you, man, I enjoy these videos where these rewrites. Like I said, the next one might be sometime this month. I might do like Terminator Dark Fate, or do Predator, some kind of Predator, one of the bad Predator movies, and rewrite that, something like that. We'll see. But anyways, get ready to call it here. Later today, I think for Pin Down, we should be doing a SmackDown review tonight. I'm not too sure, but we should be. So look out for that, and subscribe to Pin Down Podcast. And we'll be back next Saturday for a normal stream. But other than that, I will be back for another video maybe tomorrow if I can find like a screenwriter article, and then we'll do The Possessed. I'll probably do that one on Sunday. But other than that, guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.